Peace, 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 and welcome to another broadcast of In the Circle Ministry. This is my second attempt. A while ago, my internet connection went down, so if you catch on or get on uh, to this stream here from the second one, from the first one, which it didn't come up, welcome and thank you for joining. You guys probably won't be able to get on till 5 after, so I'm really not going to get into it. I'm going to sit here and get stuff together and see if I can still stream on. Okay, it won't allow me to do the two, so I'm gonna leave that alone. And what I do is have to take and upload this to the other platform. Okay, I know I had put up on the other that uh, I'll be on it 5 more minutes, 7:05. We're gonna see if it's showing up. I want to check my other. If it's showing. Okay. Well, I am live. I got it while ago. I had internet connection. So, welcome to another broadcast of In the Circle Ministries. This is our virtual YouTube ministry, and I'm your host, Rico Blakely. Where we take things and put them up under the microscope. With that concept, there's a scripture that's in the Bible that said that thine eye be single, then our body be full of light and enlightenment. And in the light is where everything is brought to resolve. You want to be walking in that marvelous light. And that light is the truth. And there's the light of all subject matters and all things. So we take things and put them up under that microscope using our single eye. We take our blue eyes and we see things from a single eye. And while we're up under that microscope, we're able to see things for the truth that they are. And we can take what we see up under that microscope for the truth that they are, and then apply it to our lives and get the results that we desire from that. So no matter what it is that you have up under the microscope while you're working on your self mastery, allowing your higher consciousness or your higher self or your real self or the God that you are to master your lower physical animalistic nature. And so with that concept, you're seeing things from a spiritual concept and not a physical one. So that's what we do here on this channel. So we want to thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you for showing up to our What's Up Wednesday show, or what's going to be streaming on TikTok at the same time. But the internet won't let me do it, and it's kind of funny over there at TikTok. I'm getting community or whatever the violation for videos or clips that I upload about live that I done and got no infractions, or the live wasn't taken down or anything like that. But and also they said my account was deactivated several months back, so I've been working back on it as well, and still been on the site, still using the site. But I guess I have to do it differently. And that's no problem. And that comes into play with tonight's shows, in a sense, taking the bumps and bruises, or what one may consider bumps and bruises. But I hope all has been well for you. I hope you're continuously working on your self mastery here. For those that have always been for those that are subscribers and always come to the channel and um, support the channel through your way of coming through and seeing what we have and liking and subscribing and commenting at times. Um, that I hope you're continuously growing your self mastery. I hope it's going well. Um, and I hope you can see that I know that it's going well, in a sense. And I know that your self-mastery is working out perfectly for you, despite of wherever or however you may see it or where you're at. Um, just hope you're continuously doing it and being aware about it and being intentional about your self-mastery and your growth. And you're still taking things and putting them up under the microscope and viewing them for what they are. Um, and that way you grow within yourself, for yourself, and for the benefit of everyone else around you, along with yourself. You first. That's what it all stems from. That's the thing about being God and being the God that you are. That the same way you hear about in the Bible, it is all about you. It is all about the things you think, how you feel, how you create, the emotions that you have, the rules, the intentions, the commandments, whatever it may be. You lay them down and you leave them in your life, and they're what conducts and orchestrates your life. So, um, had a good show last week as well, I believe. Talked about a few things after just randomly thoughts and touch bases on what we talked about the week before about sticking to the plan and trusting the God within you and the contract that you've obligated yourself to within your self mastery and holding yourself accountable. And as we will say, to be God, you must be accountable for all your actions and accountable for all the things that you do. So being able to be acceptable for that and continuously working towards that plan and sticking to that plan and not altering uh, the terms and conditions. As we spoke about last time, is that we're the one orchestrating the contract. The universe of God is just signing off and okaying everything that we're contracting with while we're in that position of contracting, whether it's through prayer, meditation, or whatever it may be. Through that process is when we're initiating the terms and conditions for that contract. And once we do that, let's stick to the plan and bring that plan to a result and let that plan show itself for what it is. And after it reveals itself for what it is through your experience and your action and your energy that you involve yourself in with completing that plan, see if it brings about the results that everyone signed off on. And this way you can learn to see and grow within yourself about things that will work out, things that won't work out through the terms and condition of the contracts. And if no one breaks them and it doesn't come out, it doesn't come to pass, then that means that that contract was really void on its face. So that idea, that thought, that belief that did not bring about the results that it promised you that it would, or you believed that it would, then it's dead on its face because it didn't come to what it was expected to. And you have to take that truth for what it is as well and apply that to your life. And once you're seeing that truth for what it is, it may be something you have to set down aside for later on, and that it may take longer for it to come about, or that it just may not work, and it's nothing that can and never will be profitable in your life, and you discard it as you do with the waste out of your body. You consume good food, or you consume food or whatever, and your body works as a well organized machine or a company or a factory or a facility or a kingdom or a nation under the kingship or a nation under the kingdom and the authority of the king that sits upon the throne or a world under your God, and it functions itself and it's going to get rid of all the bad. It's going to consume what it needs to. And sometimes it consumes some of the BS and some of the bads and retain it, and it causes imperfection in the body, but that comes with how it works. So, but most of the time, it get rid of the waste when anything of substance that the body can utilize for its good or its bad. So, whenever you have waste, you have urine. There's nothing left in your urine for you to for your body nourishment or whatever, and there's nothing left in your poop that's good for you. All of it's gone. So, um, all things come in and work their way out. So we do things and we can understand what's waste and what's not no good, and we flush it and get rid of it. We discard it. So with that same thought process too, while we're on the subject, um, and we'll get to the main topic to the night too. Um, I'm drinking my homemade wine too. I've been making a batch ever since moved into the home and on the property in 2000 and I think it was 18. And ever since I had the muscadine vine or the scuffadine vine here, I've always partaked in it and made my own wine here for, for my personal, excuse me, for my own personal consumption. So yeah, when we're talking about putting things into your body, that comes with your mind and your conscience and your kingdom as well. This is what the Christ consciousness is supposed to make you aware of when we speak about the Christ consciousness here on this channel and about your mind. Is that whenever your God is the leader, your energy force, the source of energy that you are, your essence. They call it a spirit, and this body is a spirit. The soul is the medium in between the spirit and this physical body. It's like the mediator, or what in the Bible they will call the Christ, the in between God and man, in between the spiritual and the physical. So it will be the Christ. It will be that mediator, that gap filler, that one standing in the gap in between the two to bring us and allow us to operate inside of this body. So the soul is there for the communication in between the spirit. This is the channel for the spirit or the thought. Whenever you get the thought, this is how the thought gets its way into your essence and who you are, or your godness, into the physical. I meant to say into your physical. So through that soul or the spirit or the essence of who you are is able to communicate with the and through the avatar, and you're able to hear these things in that soul. Your soul is your audio, and your as for your bro, you're speaking and you're hearing. This is why whenever you don't open your mouth and you can think of thought and you can think of words or whatever it may be, you hear and you speak. You're hearing the voices, you're hearing the words, you're hearing the thought, and you're also speaking the thought, and you're also hearing it. So that is happening and taking place in the chambers of the soul inside of the avatar. That's all connected inside the brain, and but the spirit or the God sense that you have, or the Godness that you are, the God energy source that you are, it brings thoughts and introduce thoughts into the soul. The soul is also able to retain things and what we call the mind, or in memory. And inside of the mind is where all things are manufactured. All thoughts are manufactured. And in throughout the avatar is the creation of everything that's manufactured inside of the mind, thought, soul, and the spirit of man, of God. So we produce the things that's inside of our thoughts, and we manufacture those things, and that made place through the soul. So your thoughts are introduced, the spiritual part of you that speaks to you, the God in you, um, that speaks to you or that you hear inside of your head, is the introducer of the thoughts. But inside of your soul, as I said before, that rests inside of the brain, which has memory and stores the soul, it allows for anything else that you bring into that mind and bring it to that factory or bring it to that company or bring it to that facility. It's able to manufacture any other thing you bring in, because those things are brought in as blueprints. They're brought in as blueprints, if that makes sense. Those thoughts, those ideals, those learning, those teachings, those upbringings, those traditions, those family roots, those geographical or whatever you pick up from the world, whatever your family customs or whatever it may be, everything that you bring into your through these internally, once you become an infant into the world, it goes into the brain and it's able to manufacture thoughts, ideals, and other things. This is your lower consciousness, and this is your lower vibrational animalistic nature. That's is in this avatar. In order for the spirit to be living, it has to be in something living. In order to give life into something, there has to be a connection for life. It got to be life sustainable, and it's got to have life in itself, in a sense. This is why when the spirit leaves, then this avatar has more life in it, and it goes back to something that is not livable. But anyway, So through the process of self-mastery and dealing with everything that you deal with, we have to understand that this is how things work. And so with everything that we deal with in life, we're going to manufacture those things through that same process. Okay. So with our mind, that is our spiritual diet, just like our bodies I was speaking about earlier. When everybody's on my channel, they know that you get to stick around, you get to hang around, and I always bring things back to where they're supposed to be. Or you follow me, you'll see things that have never been, in a sense, out of place. They flow with a rhythm. But same thing we're talking about putting the food into your body, and your body's going to take whatever they deem to be good, and everything that they spit out is bad. It's waste. It's no good. Just for that, for this instance of speaking of good and bad, to get rid of the waste, there's nothing else that can be done with it inside of the body. But some of the stuff you can take in that you put into your body, that your body is going to do what it's supposed to, even if you're putting BS into your body. My diet changed, and the things that I put into my body is preventative maintenance for me. It's preventative maintenance. It's where I prevent cancer, I prevent colds, flus, and a bunch of other things. I prevent pancreatic cancer, any other things that you may have, diabetes, or whatever other illness that is caused through the things that you consume and put into your body that become that what your body is manufacturing and producing it. Outside of those that were born, that excludes those that were born, came into this world with those infirmities or whatever that may be, excluding those. But most of the stuff that we have is accumulated through our life, through our intake and the manufacturing with it. The body is not going to be able to determine if it's healthy or if it's not healthy. That makes sense. The body, the physical avatar, is not going to, the mind is not going to know that. This is why the soul and the spirit have to be the father and the son. Not the father and the son, but it has to be your God consciousness and the Christ consciousness. So yes, in that sense, the father and the son. um, Wisdom and knowledge and how to operate with those two is the mother of all. That is the nature of all things, of the Father and the Son and of the universe, the wisdom, the mother, because you can't have a father and a son and there ain't no woman. So let that be out there as well. So the woman is more so of the faith and the wisdom and the ability to act upon that which you believe and to bring it about to a result that will show it for what it is and not what you would perceive it to be or want it to be. That is wisdom and her sense and her lovely self. That is the mother to the father, or the mother with the father that produces the son. So, but anyway, the body's going to take it and absorb it, and it produces canceristic cells. It produces places where you're not making the right insulin amount, or blockage and clogs in the artery, or digestive problems, acid reflux, eczema, tumors, all type of other things that happen that grow in the body come from internal stuff that we bring in. That's why I say the animalistic nature does not know what's good. That's what the Bible speaks about. That there's no good thing that's in the flesh, and something about like and don't quote me for this, but Google it and find out. It's like there's no good thing in the flesh or in the mind of man, and the man doesn't know what's good for itself. The flesh doesn't know what's best for itself. So it's going to do whatever, it's going to produce that, and the end results won't are not favorable. It's a ending in the avatar. The avatar is no longer able to sustain the spiritual God that you are, the energy source that you are, and the soul uh, um, is not able to communicate no longer in that avatar, and that essence is lost, and then that which is spirit goes back to spirit, and that which is flesh goes back to the flesh, goes back to the earth, the lower consciousness. All the animalistic nature goes back to where it is. That's survival mode. That's the other thing about animalistic nature is survival, is predator prey. is apex predator, any prey, and even the best predators can end up being preyed on, or end up being prey to another predator. So your thoughts can do that to you. You can destroy yourself through the animalistic nature. But with all of that, to me, it sounds like a bunch of bumps and bruises. So getting back to the subject matter for the night, we understand that a lot of things that we do in our self mastery is helping us understand that we do these things so we have a spiritual diet, and our physical diet is only an example of that. The things that are done in heaven is a reflection of the things that are done into the earth, or done within the earth, that are done with the body, done within my body. So I do the preventative maintenance because I've acknowledged my everlasting existence in my consciousness and my all eternal and infinite self that I am. And I operate through that way when I bring anything into this body, when I bring it into this avatar. No matter how I bring it in, it's going to be something that is going to be preventative maintenance to make sure and to keep things running and operating as long as they are and can be possible with this avatar. So I get the lifespan, expectancy lifespan of this avatar. And that is as long as the spirit desires to rest, rule, and abide here. Okay. Thank you and thank you and thank you. So, but subject topic for the night, taking the bumps and bruises. We go through life and we go through stuff in our growth or just in life period. And for those that are in self mastery, this is for you. And those that are not in self mastery, this is for you as well, because you're constantly trying to master yourself, whether you recognize it or not. Even if you stay with the same repetitive routine for the rest of your life, you're still striving for that self mastery in that. But for here in this channel is to evolve and to grow and to allow yourself to be more of the eternal existence that you are than living into the physical existence that is only temporary, that isn't real. So to live out your life as the God that you are, and to experience life through the experiences, and to be God upon the earth. So thy will be done upon the earth as it is in the heavens. So you have things, you have unexpected things that happen. You can have some things that you, as we talked about before, in the plan and the sticking to the plan and stuff, in the term and condition of the contract, and you alter and you change them. That brings about a rift. That brings about a change. That brings about two things that happen, an equal and a opposite. I would say these things that happen, and most times about which one gets the most energy or which one you get the most energy into. An equal and a opposite reaction is going to happen. But which one are you going to give your energy to? The bump's going to come. They're going to leave the bruises. But how are you going to do once you get the bump? Are you going to focus in on the coming of the bruise? Are you going to suffer and waddle in the point that you got the bump? Or are you going to move on and surpass, knowing that the bump and the bruise wasn't uh, uh, devastating? They were just bumps and bruises in in this scenario of riding down the road in the highway. You're going to hit potholes. Even on a straight road, it's not straight. Your car is going to shake. You're going to have bumps and bruises upon the highway, and it just comes with traveling. It's just a natural part of everything else. I dictate my day. My day doesn't dictate me. I have a great, wonderful day every day. No matter what happens in that day, that does not dictate my great and wonderful day. And that's not going to displace me here and have me acting out a way here. It's still going to be a great and wonderful day no matter what goes through. So you're going to go through bumps and bruises, no matter the health problems. They can be fixed, they can be corrected. Um, Whether if it's a financial problem, job shut down, you lose a job, something happened, you can't make it to work, you get fired. Finances, you are the source of your resources. You are the source of whatever they would call income, and I don't like that word. But the way that this monetary system works, you are that source. You will bring it. It's not that bump that happened, and the bruise happened because of the bump. Sometimes you can get bumped and bruised and never leave a scar. That's the beautiful thing about the bumps and bruises. They're different from scars. So I hope that makes sense as well. Bruises go away, skin complexion comes back, the sensitivity in that spot is gone, and you could never be there. The only way that it sticks around is when you're bumped and bruised here as well, mentally, spiritually, when it happens physically. I can bump my leg against the tow hitch on the back of a truck. In every truck I walk around it after that point 5 to 6 foot diameter to make sure I don't do that again. Even if the truck don't have a hitch on it, I can allow that to happen to me mentally. Like I have bumps and bruises from that, and that stay tender and that never heals. So taking different bumps and bruises in your life, whether they're from your health, from your finances, from a relationship, from whatever it may be, just do know that they're all right. They will heal. They'll take care of themselves. You have to take care of yourself. Learn the lesson in the bumps and the bruises, but don't allow the bumps and the bruises to alter your life unless it is profitable for that. This is what being God is knowing why some things that won't make sense to everyone else. Why the dumb things of the world will confine the wise. He will take God will take the dumb things of the world and confine the wise. Your thoughts and your ideas won't make sense to no one else. Sometimes it won't make sense to you. But when you make that contract, you have to understand that it's your inward self that's making that contract, or understand if it's your lower consciousness making that contract. And if it's with your lower consciousness, a lot of time your lower consciousness contract will come to pass faster than anything else. But it comes with 90% of the I don't want to happen versus the other 10% that you desire to have. So the desire that you will want to have, you won't get that 100%. You only gonna get 10% of that desire to have, and 90% of the bullshit you desire not to have, the bumps and bruises. But it'd be fine if you can understand that. Then you can be the master of it. You can understand from that place of thought now that you can control and how to get that 100% and not bring those uh 90% of bumps and bruises. Not saying you're going to escape the bumps and bruises because that is a part of this growth process. Everything is in exchange. You're going to have to give something to lose something. To gain something, you got to lose something. To in order to receive, you got to open up. You can't retain and receive. In order to receive, you have to open up. So, in order for me to get, I must give. Give is giving up, letting go, turning loose, whatever it may be, an ideal, a thought, perspective, a feeling, an emotion, a habit, food, beer, a cigarette, a Newport, whatever it may be, a drug habit, whatever you have to give up, you have to give up something in order to get the other. You're not going to be able to retain it all, but the master is able to work it out to make sure that he gets everything that is desired to the point where he's able to give out extra talents. So think about that as well. You may give 10 talents to another, 5 talents to another, and 1 talent to another, and be able to come back later on to check on those talents and let that marinate. So, um, and that's not trying to downplay or knock down anything anybody may be going through in their bumps and bruises. A lot of times, I know for myself and my bumps and bruises, the reason I speak about things now because I've experienced. So if you're new to the channel or you're old to the channel, you know that I talk about my life experiences and the way I viewed them and the way I've seen them and how I've dealt to handle. So everything I talk about are not just speculation; they are actually life events that I am the one giving the facts and the testimony to them through my experiences. Not saying they're absolute for everyone. I'm just sharing my experiences. And um, and the experiences that I have, in my view, my outtake on someone else may have them, that they could experience them for themselves through that, however it may be. But you're going to go through and you're going to have your own views and opinions and thoughts about things. So I'm just here to share mine. And hopefully it's something that you can take and see and apply them to your life and the way that you can apply them in your unique programming. Okay. But the bumps and bruises come. I've jacked up. I've seen things, and I've made my situation worse. So where I multiplied it my 90% to where I was only getting 1% of good, and then the 1% that I got was good. I found out it was that 1% out of the 99.9% that was missing from the bullshit, and it really wasn't good. All of it was bullshit, and it wasn't good for me. It began to change and see the difference, and um, allow those things to take place in my life, and discard those things that wouldn't profit me nothing, that was no good. So thank you for coming out tonight. It wasn't a long show. I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for investing in yourself. Whenever you come out and see the video, if you draw to it later or whenever you do see it, thank you for investing in yourself. Thank you for allowing me to share my experiences, and you've been able to apply them in your life in a way, or discard them in your life in a way. But I thank you for coming by. But while you stop by, I'd like you to like, subscribe to the channel, comment into the video, anything. If it's no more than a dot, a period, or one, it helps with the algorithm of YouTube or whatever else. Check out my description section too. Um, all the things we have in there, the links in there. Go check those things out as well. Come back next Wednesday and catch us at 7 o'clock on the What's Up Wednesday show. But before I go, I want to let you know I love you. Peace to the gods. Your bumps and bruises are no more than that, man. You know, control your bumps and bruises. Become a master of it. And then when the bumps and bruises that you have to take care of, accept them for what they are, grow your strength and get stronger in those places, in those areas, because you're going to build strength, character, resilience in all those areas. So cherish your bumps and bruises. Just don't allow them to wound you, and don't allow them to be tattoos. Don't let them be a permanent reminder of the bump and the bruise. Heal, grow, multiply in those things. Peace, love, extreme wealth, extreme health, and extreme prosperity to everyone. You guys have a great night. I love you, and check us out next week.